So you've just been arrested for DUI, but not only that, your DUI involved a collision, and in doing so, caused the death of another person. How much more serious has your situation become? We're going to tackle that issue in this video. California Penal Code Section 191.5 says that a defendant is guilty of gross vehicular manslaughter while DUI, or DUI manslaughter, when they are driving a vehicle in violation of the DUI laws, and in doing so, they cause the death of another person while acting in a negligent or grossly negligent manner. Notice there are two different types of DUI manslaughter under this statute. There's DUI manslaughter with what's called ordinary negligence and DUI manslaughter with what's called gross negligence. What's the difference? Well, in order to prove gross negligence, the DA has to prove that the defendant or the driver acted in a way that created such an unreasonable risk of great bodily injury or death, and that a reasonable person in that situation would have been able to realize that what they were doing created such a great risk to others. This is different in some ways from the standard of malice, where somebody, for a murder charge, they have to prove that the person acted with a conscious disregard for the value of human life. And that's important because manslaughter is different from murder. There are some types of DUI fatalities that could be charged as murder. We can talk about that in another video. But DUI manslaughter involves the unlawful killing of another human being without malice, but where the defendant is otherwise committing DUI and causing the death of another person in a negligent or grossly negligent manner. Another difference between the gross negligent and the ordinary negligent types of DUI manslaughter is the punishment. If you've been found guilty of DUI manslaughter with what's called ordinary negligence, you're facing a state prison sentence of 16, 2, or 3 years. If, however, you're found guilty of DUI manslaughter with gross negligence, the punishment steeps up to 4, 6, or 10 years. That's quite a jump. In some cases, there might be really pitched battle as to what level of negligence can really be proven. You could have a whole trial on that issue where the defendant's fault is not really contested. It's not contested that they were DUI, but it's still, is a big issue about whether it's the gross negligent or the ordinary negligent, because that can make a big difference in the case, not just at trial, but also when preparing and pre-trying and negotiating it. One thing that's common to both the gross negligent and the ordinary negligent versions of DUI manslaughter is this. If in any case, the DA has to prove more than just the driver defendant was DUI at the time and someone's death resulted in the accident. They have to prove the defendant did some other action while they're driving that is negligent or grossly negligent beyond just the DUI itself. This is a concept that I talked about a lot in a previous video about the charge of DUI causing injury under Vehicle Code Section 23153. It's not enough to just prove the DUI and a death, but that the defendant committed some other negligent action, behaved in some other negligent way besides just the DUI that actually contributed to the decedent's death. Another issue, much like DUI causing injury, is the issue of causation. Did that other action contribute to the person's death? Is there what's called proximate cause? It's important to know there could be more than one cause of the other person's death. Maybe they weren't wearing a seatbelt. Maybe they were DUI themselves. Maybe they also were driving in the most appropriate manner. But if there's some bad driving action on the defendant's part that they can connect to the victim's death, that could be a conviction for DUI manslaughter in this case. These are all important issues that need to be ferreted out and investigated properly. We're talking accident reconstruction, looking at the police reports, the photos, looking at what investigation the police did in the incident. All these things need to be dealt with very seriously because this is one of the most serious charges you could be facing. If a death resulted out of your DUI arrest, I mean, you're just looking at way more serious charges. And so you're going to need to have zealous, well-prepared representation to defend you in that scenario, to make sure that every possible defense is discovered. If you know somebody that's facing a DUI charge or a DUI adjacent charge, please feel free to share this video. Thanks, and stay safe out there.